Thank you for tuning into Groove Radio. I'm your host. My name is Swedish Egil, and we have just heard Paul Van Dyk and Vini Vici with Galaxy. And I'd like to say welcome to Paul. Welcome, my friend. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you.
So that is the #1 song on your personal Beatport chart, and I believe also a song from your new album, right?
Yes, it is. It's on the album Guiding Light, and it's like one of those collaborations among a few on the album that basically made it to the album.
Okay, so congratulations on Guiding Light. I think it's a great album. A lot of collaborations. We're going to be talking about that. How long did you work on the album?
Well, it's kind of like an ongoing process for quite some time. The thing is that you almost can see this is like some sort of trilogy.
Right.
The music from then on, and then the album Music Rescues Me, and now Guiding Light. They belong together somehow. It's
right.
kind of part of the experience and things that I had to kind of like go through over the last sort of years, especially since the time after the accident.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you've had a terrible accident, and are you all healed up now? Are you all good?
No, and it will never be 100% actually fine anyway. And the problem is, the injuries were quite severe. There was like substantial damage to my brain, and I broke my spine twice and things like that. So all that only heals to some extent. And after about 2 years, that's what the experts say, the stuff that isn't okay will basically be staying with me forever. And there are quite a few things that, are not all right. And, but, giving up is not an option. So, we're going to go through whatever there's ahead of us.
That's right, Paul Van Dyk. You've always been very strong, and, I've known you for a long time, so looking at you and listening to your music, you can't tell the difference at all. So you're either hiding it very well or, you're doing a good job, my friend.
Well, look, I have a phenomenal family. I have a phenomenal team around me, and, they enabled me to kind of, find the energy to pursue my passion.
Right. So how long were you working on Guiding Light? How long had the process been?
Well, pretty much started in the moment when Music Rescues Me was finished, because, it's kind of like this ongoing dynamic and sort of stories and ideas that I had in my head that, turned out to be music somehow.
Okay.
So I would say probably about 1.5 years.
Oh, okay. That's good. How many albums have you done overall?
It is, I just read it actually, because I'm not counting, but I just read it's actually apparently this is my 10th album. So I'm not quite sure if this actually includes, some of those best of things, and if it includes Escape Reality, which was a chill out album. So I'm not quite sure how that number comes together, but it is said it's album number 10, and I go with it.
Okay, very good. Congratulations. That's quite a milestone, Paul. You deserve it.
Thank you.
So how many singles are you releasing from Guiding Light?
Well, we're not quite sure. Well, at least the thing is, the release structures actually have substantially changed. So it's not really anymore that you release one single, then the second single, then comes the album, and then the third single. That used to be the old days. These days, it's pretty much kind of, you keep the content somewhat flowing and kind of like accumulate it into the album release in itself. And if you sort of like, look at the time span, I believe Galaxy came out, I don't know, almost a year ago, which was or could be seen as the first track from the album. And then, the collaboration with Elate came, I think in October last year. So there was quite some time to develop it. Of course, in this particular case, because of the corona pandemic and all the issues, we delayed the release of this album a little bit. It was supposed to be released in, I think it was April. And because of the circumstances, we kind of like moved it a little further back. But I don't know. There's no particular number in regards to singles.
Okay. Well, we're in a moment going to be playing the title track, the latest single. We absolutely love that song. But I wanted to ask you a couple of other questions. So how have you kept yourself busy during lockdown and the coronavirus?
Well, one thing is, of course, making music.
Okay.
I was certainly not bored. There was like a lot of things to do. Also, I don't know if you're aware of that, but we've done all these weeks. It's called the Sunday Sessions. It's a live stream, live from Berlin. It was coming from the home office, and also we went to an empty stadium and I played there, and we went to different locations that were very impressive as the location in itself, and just streamed like 3 hours of me playing music. And it was not necessarily just like about the music. It was more about actually connecting people to each other, bring people together, because especially when the whole lockdown scenario started, people were sitting at home not knowing what the heck is going on. And so I realized people are actually talking to each other, they're communicating with each other. People in New York are asking people in London, people from Berlin, asking people in Barcelona and Madrid, hey, how are you doing? How are you coping? And giving each other hope. And so therefore, we were really busy throughout the last sort of weeks and months. But nevertheless, I can't wait to be back out on the road and seeing my audience and celebrating life and our passion for music together.
Yeah, that's beautiful, my friend. I'm sure it's going to happen soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. So tell us about the different collaborators that you have on the album.
Well, it's like, of course, a few names that you can find on previous of my records. I mean, Sumait Laren is like one of the most amazing vocalists. And so, of course, she's the voice of the title track. Bo Bruce is a phenomenal singer and songwriter. And so, Covered in Gold is, I don't know, seems to be developing to like one of the favorites of a lot of people. It is, I don't know, I always almost feel like it's a little bit different from like, things that I've done before. It has this very, very spherical like voice to it, and then develops into a different dynamic. I don't know. I just really like it. Then of course, people like Steve DK I worked with before. He's an amazing, talented DJ from Colombia. Will Atkinson from the UK. I remember he was playing for us at Shine in Ibiza, and he played a phenomenal set. And I was just like, kind of, hey, why don't we do a track together? And so similar sort of things, how it came together. I remember the guys from Vini, Vici, we were playing together in Asia on a cruise ship actually, and we were kind of hanging and just thinking, hey, why don't we do something together? And it happened. So it's like there are many ways. Then of course Chris Becker, who's part of the VANDIT family here from Berlin, we created music together. Vincent Corver, which is like a phenomenal classical pianist, and he writes this very emotional pieces. And I tend to, he just said the other day, we have this like really amazing synergy and energy together. It's like he writes a pure piano line, and I'm basically able to kind of like expand it into an orchestral piece around it. And so it's like we've done that with a track, and yeah, many more. It's like, as always, there are people that inspired me and who I think can bring something very, very interesting and phenomenal to the music I make.
Great collection of collaborators. So we're going to play the video right now for Guiding Light. Love the video. Fell madly in love with Pip. So tell us how this whole thing came together, and there was also sort of a message in the video.
Well, it's about support dogs, and it's also the underlying story is that to me it's about kind of like, follow your dreams, follow your path, and be a guiding light to the people that actually need you. It doesn't necessarily need to be like with little Pip in the school. He obviously is like, he's first of all, he's too little, then he's too nervous. But when it's actually really important, he saves that person's life. And to me, that's sort of like the underlying thing. And we also support the whole cause of support dogs.
Right. And you've done this in partnership with Southeastern Guide Dogs. And if you want to sponsor a dog, you can go to guidedogs.org/sponsor a puppy.
Absolutely.
Thought that was beautiful. Thank you so much for talking with us, Paul. It was great catching up with you again. And keep on making all that great music. We look for it on VANDIT. Keep on spinning the records. We look for you on Sundays. And thanks again, Paul. The best of luck to you.
Thank you. Same for you and all your listeners and viewers.
Thank you.
Groove Radio.